Yeah, I've seen some people where they were talking about, I can't recall the tools, but generate code for you very quickly. But somebody was able to hack to generate a code within just minutes or seconds, especially when it deals with payments. So it's something that you still need to have foundational, like really good people to make sure there isn't a way to, to break it. And so, yeah, it was just very interesting where somebody was selling a product where you can actually set up some kind of payment system and all that. And they said, oh, within really 2 minutes, they were able to hack I can't remember if it was HTML or whatever, but to basically say they paid for the product and got it for free. So it's pretty interesting.
These tools are great for getting you like 80% of the way there. But yeah, the rest of that 20%, you do still need to have the understanding of what's going on. And I was going to say earlier, with a lot of these tools, it is quite interesting because we're kind of power users at the moment, the way we're using them, because we can understand in the background what's happening. So if you're talking to these tools, we can visualize, okay, in the background has created these objects and these tasks, and it's updated the Figma board, and we can kind of steer the AI in the right direction, right? Because we know where we're leading it to, and we can manage it that way because you know what it's actually doing in the background. But it's going to be interesting to see as time goes on if new users can sort of, people who don't really understand that background, what's actually happening behind the scenes, if they'll be able to interact with these sort of chatbots too and have that natural language sort of conversation without really understanding the technical side of it and still get that same results, right? So can you run a business if you never actually knew the business processes that were happening beforehand? Like you come in brand new to a business and you're just talking to a bot now and kind of manage everything for you in a way that you didn't really actually know the actual intricacies of what was really going on behind the scenes. Just going to be interesting to see how that goes longer term. Again, because we're just looking at this from a very high level, detailed perspective. We'll see what it's like for just general users.
Yeah, that's an interesting point because if you have a certain level of, power user or a certain level of a user, does that mean if you're not that good, oh, well, I can have this designer or product owner or somebody or this developer do X. And then you're like, well, actually, I'll just ask, the AI to do it. And so I don't need you because I know just enough to know where I need to get it to. So it's like you have to up your skill set as a independent creator to be able to utilize that. But then now, do you take middle management out? Do you take upper management out? Are they needed? So it's going to be probably a battle between the doers and the makers. So
and it is interesting to see where the dust and when the dust actually gets a chance to settle with the pace that everything's moving at. Because we could argue now, well, the tools aren't that good, as Joe, you were saying, and something I've found when you're working with code and you're utilizing, whether it's Cursor or something like that, it'll get you, as you were saying, a lot of the way there, but you'll have to identify what's doing wrong. Say, no, you're actually, this is wrong, rather do this. And it helps you, speeds up everything. And you could project out, you could say, well, programmers starting today, jumping ahead, with these tools, are they going to have that problem solving? What are the long-term implications of that? But then with the way that it's moving, the tools are probably so different when they get to that. The quality of code is going to improve. The products that we're seeing now as somewhat a scramble of trying to assimilate everything together using these tools. So Aldo, all the tools you were mentioning, they're sort of bridging certain gaps between different software. They're tying systems together from an automation perspective, or they're linking design to development. But we're probably going to see even more consolidation of tools where, talking about the task management as well, where it becomes a suite that a lot less about, and they're just all these outputs from it. And I think we've touched on this before as well, but you look at a UI now and there's so much that needs to go into some of these more complex. So you look at your kind of work, your task management systems. You need to be able to order and drag across and have different states. And that's all to solve, us being able to, deal with and manage that. But when AI is doing it, you don't need to. You literally see a very simple interface of, here's your task today. This is what you need to be working with, and ask it, well, can you show me some other, order it differently, or show me the upcoming year. That interface is so much simplified. So it is fascinating to see where we're at the moment. And, we can project out a lot of different scenarios, but actually the way that the tools will probably move won't actually, we won't see the eventualities of the developers, not new developers, falling into bad habits, because either they're going to be replaced completely, or, there's going to be just a completely different tool set that we're going to interact with.